Hello, everyone. My name is Explosive Results. On Discord, it's Orion. And if you're new to my channel, this is not the kind of content I usually make. I usually make gameplay videos, but I also make some Metal Gear Solid 5 mods. Mainly, just these, weapon camos. They're super easy to make. So this video is kind of going over my most recent pack. Now, bit of history. If you don't want that history, I will put a timestamp on the screen now, and that'll take you to when I start talking about the weapon camos. So, bit of backstory here, as the G36, or not G36, Jesus Christ, the, what is it called in the game? G44K, spins around in the background. I started, modding Metal Gear Solid 5 when, I want to say about a year ago, maybe? And all I did was weapon camo packs, which is, you know, these. And it's all still I'm going to do, because I don't know how to do anything else. But I took a long hiatus from Metal Gear Solid 5. I got kind of bored of it. Once I beat the game and did, like, some challenges, there was not much else for the game to do for me. And I wasn't good enough at the game to do it, like, super hard mode. So, yeah. But I'm back now. And, you know, I have, my weapon camo packs did pretty well. There was the practical camo pack, which in hindsight wasn't very practical. There were ones I used, the DDS files from the game to make camos from, so the same ones that are used for your fatigues would be on your gun, because I thought that would be a cool thing to do, to match it. This camo pack's going to be a little different. So, to all those who skipped ahead, hello, welcome back. To those who stayed around and stuck around for my little bit of story time, I appreciate that. So, we're going to use the G44K here as our model, as our beautiful model, to show off the camo pack. So, there are 24 camos in total. This is default camo. This is with no paint scheme on it. So, the first camo we have is Denim. Denim was a camo scheme that I wanted to do for the practical camo pack, but it was a tie between Denim and tartan flannel, and so I went with the flannel. I felt like that was more visually distinct. But Denim has made its comeback here in this pack, in the November 2021 pack. So yeah, that's Denim. I mean, there's not a lot of water areas in the game, but I feel like it might, you know, be good for water or urban environments. Next, we have Carbon Weave. Now, I've done a lot of Carbon Weave patterns in my packs before, because I really like how Carbon Weave looks, but this one's a little bit different. This one, I cranked up the saturation and brightness of the texture, and it kind of gives it more of a, for lack of a better term, a weaved look to it, which I really think works really well on stuff like this. Next, so the rest of these camos have a theme to them, and it's saturation and desaturation. So the first one we have is quite loud, and it is the Tetris camo. I found this image on Shutterstock, and oh, I love it. I love it. It is bright, it is loud, it is colorful, it is everything you want in a gun. It is in your face and not afraid to just completely distract the enemy. So yeah, that's the Tetris camo. It's really neat. I really like it. Unfortunately, there's no way to clean the gun, but there you go. So every saturated color has a desaturated pair with it. Some colors are darker than others, some are brighter than others. It's just how it works out. But this is desaturated Tetris, and this is, I think, more practical for an urban environment. This is something I could actually see, like, an actual camo pattern being made out of. I think this works really well. Sorry about the inconsistent movement of this thing. I'm using my controller. But yeah, I really like this camo. I think it works the best out of most in this pack. But it's up to you. Next we have Fractal, and again, I've done a lot of Fractals in the past, but I really dig this one. The fire red and the like faded navy blue, I think really looks good together as like accent colors, and the black and white really looks nice. It's a bit gaudy, but all the super saturated ones are a bit gaudy. To complement that, or rather to bring it down to a more subtle space, we have Desaturated Fractal. Desaturated Fractal is, again, the same color scheme, but just muted. There's no color to it. And weirdly enough, the white stands out more, I think, in this one than it does the other one. But I really dig it. It reminds me of fireworks. Next, we have Sprinkles. Sprinkles, I was thinking about calling this one Donut, but Sprinkles I think works better, because it's more fitting for what it is. This is just... I can feel my I can taste the sugar just looking at this thing. Please don't lick your gun, by the way. That would be a bad idea. Then we have Desaturated Sprinkles. This is for all the goth people who like donuts. This is the goth donut variety paint scheme. And again, this is one that would work better for an urban environment. I think this one would actually work best for an urban environment because of the little flecks that the sprinkles have become. Next, we have absolutely just the worst cursed content camo I could think of, which is to make your gun all wood. So the actual texture for this is a little bit brighter in... like, the actual image is brighter, but in-game it kind of... it desaturates it already. So yeah, this is a wood gun now, with a couple scratches on it. So if that's not your speed, you want something a little bit more subtle, we have Desaturated Wood. Desaturated Wood is the same wood, but it's seen some stuff. You know, it's lost its life, lost its color. It can still get the job done, but it's going to be a lot more sad about it. Next, we have Halloween! Now, I've had a Halloween camo in the past that was literally just jack-o'-lanterns, but this one I feel is like a little bit spookier. This one is a bunch of like geometric branches with gold highlights decorating your gun, and I think that this one is the perfect balance of subtle and gaudy. I think that if you're going to put a camo on your gun, any gun, I would personally pick this one, just because it looks neato. And of course, we have the Desaturated one. And Desaturated didn't look right in game, so I brightened it, and now it kind of reminds me of like a faded tiger stripe. I really dig this color scheme. This is another one of the super subtle ones that I think you could really use in real life. So if you're looking for a pack with some realism, maybe this is what you want. I'm going to release another pack as a separate file that's more subtle camos like this. So if that's more your speed, you could wait for that, or you could use this pack and snag this delightful camo for yourself. Next up, we have... So I was on the fence about what to call this. I think I'm going to call it Eva Unit 1 camo, because it's the same color scheme. This horrific geometric pattern does exactly the opposite of what camouflage does for a gun. Instead of concealing your gun and making it harder to spot, this gun tells everyone, not only do I have a gun, and not only do I intend to shoot you with it, but I'm going to wear the loudest paint scheme possible on it just to piss you off. So if that's something you feel resonates with your heart, then pick this camo. And to match it, we have a desaturated version, which I'm not personally a fan of, but since I was going with the desaturated theme, I think it works. I really like the way the diamonds look on this when in certain lighting. Think like the white, like if you look on the underside of that grenade launcher there, the white really catches the light really nicely, but then if you like shift it, the gray starts to come through. I think it looks nice. That's it. This one I call Arcade Floor. It doesn't look like an arcade floor, but it's all I can think of. And this one is another mix of subtle and gaudy. I think that the gradient triangles are a bit much to put on a gun, but if that's your style, if you want to absolutely just confuse the fuck out of your enemies, this gun will definitely do it. And it'll also confuse your squad mates and you, so, you know, use with caution. And to follow it, we have a desaturated one, another super subtle camo. This camo will be going into the subtle camo pack as well. There's a hint of green to it, I'm noticing. And when I make the subtle camo pack, I'll be sure to pronounce that a little bit more. But there you go. Next we have Paintbrush, and Paintbrush is, in my headcanon, you left your gun next to the child wing of Mother Base, and this is the result. They painted on it, and, well, you know, you could grab another gun, but then it wouldn't be as special. And then here's a version for all the goth kids that painted on your gun, because they don't want to use colors, because colors are too mainstream. So, there you go. Next, we have Flower Power. Flower Power is a really pretty design that I kind of wish was just a thing I had. Just like a blanket with this pattern. But this is Flower Power. It's loud. It's groovy. It reminds me of the 70s and 80s, and I think that fits this game perfectly. And of course, the desaturated version for when you're feeling a little melancholy, feel like you if you don't want to take a life but you have to. Perfect camo for that. I don't know what the fuck to call this other than diamonds. This is the desaturated diamond. This is another. I don't want to say it's subtle because I feel like the white lines kind of are more pronounced. But this one is another dark camo that would, you know, I could see realistically being on a gun. And here's the saturated diamonds, which are a golden fire orange, and a navy blue, which I think really works. I think this is, if I have to pick a favorite camo from this pack, it's definitely this one. This one fucking kicks ass. It's great. Then we have Topography, which is, this is the saturated version, so the original image was black and white, so I kind of flubbed, you know, making it colorful, but it's got kind of like a earth green, like olive drab, almost like a really dark olive drab, and gold accents, which is, it's gaudy, but it's also kind of cool looking. And then of course we have the normal version, which is technically the desaturated version. And this one is, you know, it's got that same olive green / black color to it under the right lighting, but it's got white accents instead of gold. And that is the November 2021 Camo Pack. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you do use this pack, and if you do, please post some screenshots on the Nexus page, or DM them to me personally, and I'll put them on the Nexus page. I really hope you guys enjoy this Camo Pack. More will definitely be coming. I was on a bit of hiatus there for Metal Gear Solid 5, but more are coming your way, including, oh no, I just dropped my controller, a practical Camo Pack, or rather a subtle Camo Pack, come this here December, maybe November, I don't know. But yeah, I will see you lovely folks in the next episode of what I record, if you would decide to stay on my channel. And if you don't, that's also fine too. Enjoy the Camo Pack, guys. Stay safe.